Number 15, 2022, Paul Goldschmidt. This MVP was earned, respected, and immediately forgot. Paul Goldschmidt hit .317 with 35 home runs, 115 RBIs, and a 180 OPS plus while leading the Cardinals to a division title. On paper, that's dominant. In practice, it never felt dangerous. There was no chase, no countdown, no moment where baseball stopped. Goldschmidt was excellent every night, but rarely overwhelming. Pitchers didn't panic, they executed carefully and moved on. His best stretch came in July, when he hit over .400 for the month. Yet even then, the league didn't shift around him. The season lacked tension. By September, the MVP felt decided, not dramatic. And once October arrived, the aura vanished instantly with an early playoff exit. This season felt like a reward for consistency, not intimidation. Goldschmidt was great. He just never bent the sport emotionally, and aura lives in disruption. Number 14, 2020, Freddie Freeman. This MVP came during baseball's strangest year, and it wore that emptiness. Freddie Freeman hit .341 with a .462 on base percentage and led the league in doubles during the shortened season. He was the best hitter in the National League, but the context drained the aura. Empty stadiums, 60 games, no nightly buildup. Freeman was steady, not seismic. There were no viral moments, no iconic at-bats frozen in memory. Even his biggest games blended together without crowd reaction to amplify them. The Braves were good, but not feared. When the postseason arrived, the MVP conversation was already quiet. Freeman's season felt like a confirmation of quality rather than a takeover. It didn't change how pitchers approached hitters. It didn't pull casual fans back in. It was clean, professional, and muted. In an aura ranking, the pandemic season ceiling is low no matter how good the numbers look. Number 13, 2014, Clayton Kershaw. This was one of the greatest pitching seasons ever, and it still lacked aura compared to hitters. Clayton Kershaw went 21-3 with a 1.77 ERA, struck out 239 batters, and posted nearly 8. He was unhittable, but pitchers struggle here. They appear once every 5 days, and fear fades in between. Kershaw dominated quietly, surgically, without hijacking the sport nightly. There was no defining showdown that season, no moment that froze the league. Even his MVP felt like voters rewarding perfection in a year without a clear offensive monster, and then October arrived. The postseason struggles immediately reframe the year. Fair or not, aura collapses when dominance doesn't carry forward. Kershaw's Cy Young carried more emotional weight than this MVP. Historic season, undeniable excellence, but limited swagger compared to players who controlled the spotlight every night. Number 12, 2013, Andrew McCutchen. This MVP was about loyalty and timing more than fear. Andrew McCutchen hit .317 with a .404 on base percentage, stole 27 bases, and led the Pirates to their first winning season in decades. The city loved him. The story was great, but the league wasn't shaken. McCutchen didn't terrorize pitchers. He didn't warp defensive alignments. His best moment came emotionally, not competitively, snapping Pittsburgh's playoff drought. That mattered locally, not nationally. The season didn't bend baseball's attention. There was no statistical dominance that forced nightly viewing. No chase, no intimidation. McCutchen was excellent, charismatic, and important, but aura requires inevitability. This MVP felt celebratory rather than imposing. It rewarded leadership and consistency more than takeover ability. In hindsight, it's remembered fondly, not fearfully. That distinction keeps it low in an aura ranking, despite how beloved the season remains in Pittsburgh. Number 11, 2011, Ryan Braun. At the time, this season felt electric. Ryan Braun hit .332 with 33 home runs, 111 RBIs, and stole 33 bases while leading Milwaukee to 96 wins. He was everywhere, but aura is fragile. This MVP aged poorly. Accusations surfaced later and retroactively stripped the season of mystique. Even before that, Braun didn't dominate the league emotionally. He thrived within a strong lineup featuring Prince Fielder. Pitchers feared the lineup more than Braun individually. There was no defining moment that froze baseball. No singular game everyone remembers. Once the controversy arrived, the aura evaporated completely. Fair or not, legacy matters here. What once felt explosive became uncomfortable. The numbers remain impressive, but aura can't survive doubt. This season lives in a strange space between dominance and dismissal, which drags it down despite how powerful it felt in real time. Number 10, 2012, Buster Posey. This MVP was historic in a quiet way. Buster Posey hit .336 with a .408 on base percentage and caught nearly every day for a Giants team that won the World Series. He posted over 10 WAR, one of the best seasons ever by a catcher. But aura-wise, this year was understated. Posey didn't intimidate pitchers with power. He controlled games subtly. His biggest impact came through framing, sequencing, and consistency. Those don't translate to fear. There was no chase, no jaw-dropping stretch. His excellence blended into team success rather than standing above it. Even during October, Posey felt like the anchor, not the spectacle. This MVP rewarded all-around mastery, not dominance that warped the league. Incredible season. Immense value. But aura lives in moments people replay. Posey's greatness was felt more than seen, which caps how high it can climb here. Number 9, 2016 Mike Trout. This might be the cleanest season of Trout's career, and that's exactly why it sits here. He played 159 games, flirted with 30-30, led the league in walks, and posted nearly 10 WAR. Perfection. But perfection doesn't always scare people. There was no urgency around this year. The Angels were average, the playoffs never arrived. Trout dominated without ever seizing the spotlight. Fans respected him, but didn't feel pulled toward nightly chaos. He didn't change the sport, he mastered it quietly. By this point, Trout winning MVP felt automatic, and automatic kills mystique. His highlights blended into expectation. Pitchers planned around him instead of panicking. The MVP vote reflected acknowledgement, not awe. This season aged into a reminder of how consistently elite Trout was. But aura demands moments that interrupt routine. This one never did, no matter how perfect it was statistically. Number 8, 2019 Cody Bellinger. This was a breakout that felt unstoppable early. Cody Bellinger hit .305 with 47 home runs, stole 15 bases, and played elite defense across the outfield and first base. Through May, he hit over .400 and looked untouchable. The league noticed. Pitchers adjusted, and the aura cooled. By September, the MVP felt deserved but less explosive. Bellinger was great, but the fear faded as the season progressed. The Dodgers were dominant, yet October again erased momentum. There was no defining swing that carried into memory. Still, this season mattered. It announced Bellinger as a superstar. It forced the league to take him seriously. That early stretch did bend attention. It just didn't last long enough to climb higher. The aura peaked early, then leveled off, leaving this MVP right at the edge of the elite tier. Number 7, 2018 Mookie Betts. This was one of the cleanest MVP seasons ever. Mookie Betts hit .346 with a .438 on base percentage, slugged .640, went 32-30, and played Gold Glove defense in right field. He posted over 10 WAR and led a Red Sox team that won 108 games and steamrolled October. Statistically, it was flawless. But aura is about fear, not polish. Betts didn't make pitchers panic. He punished mistakes, but didn't warp entire game plans. There was no single moment that froze the sport, no chase, no countdown, no signature at bat that everyone remembers instantly. Even his MVP case felt inevitable by August because Boston was so dominant. He was the best player on the best team, not the center of the baseball universe. Incredible season. Surgical dominance. Limited intimidation compared to what comes next. Number 6, 2021 Bryce Harper. This MVP was loud in the box score and louder in body language. Bryce Harper hit .309 with 35 home runs, a .429 on base percentage, and a .179 OPS plus, while carrying a Phillies team that had no business being competitive. He didn't just hit, he stared pitchers down, he flipped bats, he turned routine singles into statements. Harper had a stretch in September where he reached base in 20 straight games and basically forced his way into the race. The numbers were elite, but the vibe was the selling point. Harper felt like the main character again. That said, the Phillies missed the playoffs, and aura always leaks without October. This season felt like reclamation, not domination. Still powerful, still intimidating, but it stopped short of league-wide takeover. Harper reminded everyone who he was. He just didn't bend the sport the way his peak years did. Number 5, 2025 Aaron Judge. This was raw power on repeat. Aaron Judge once again led the league in home runs, posted an OPS north of 1,000, and made Yankee Stadium feel unfair to visiting pitchers. He had multiple stretches where he homered in 4 straight games and routinely drew intentional walks with runners on base. Teams openly chose not to pitch to him. But here's the issue. This season didn't surprise anyone. Judge doing this felt expected. There was no chase like 2022, no sense of history unfolding, just dominance. Pitchers feared him, but they had already adapted their fear. The Yankees were good, not overwhelming. October didn't elevate the season. This MVP reinforced Judge's status as the most dangerous hitter alive, but it didn't redefine it. Aura stayed high, but familiarity dulled the edge. This was greatness maintained, not greatness announced. Number 4, 2025 Shohei Ohtani. This season felt inevitable, which is both its strength and its weakness. Shohei Ohtani did Shohei Ohtani things again: monster home runs, dominant pitching stretches, MVP-level offense, while also logging elite innings on the mound. But the shock was gone. Baseball had adjusted to the impossible being normal. Playing for the Dodgers added gravity, yet also expectation. He wasn't breaking rules anymore. He was enforcing them. The aura came from consistency, not disbelief. Pitchers knew what was coming and still couldn't stop it. That matters. But the season lacked the defining moment that froze the sport. No first-of-its-kind milestone, no singular image burned into memory. This was dominance on cruise control. Still terrifying, still historic, just not surprising. When greatness becomes routine, aura softens slightly, even when the numbers are absurd. Number 3, 2024 Aaron Judge. This season felt angry. Judge came out swinging early, hitting 15 home runs before June, and forcing teams into defensive desperation immediately. Pitchers worked around him from the first inning. He led the league in slugging and walks, turning entire games into exercises in avoidance. One stretch in July saw him homer 7 times in 10 games while barely getting pitched to. Yankee Stadium buzzed differently. This wasn't celebration. It was tension. Judge's presence changed series strategies. Managers burned relievers early just to avoid him in big spots. The MVP felt heavy because the dominance was obvious and constant. Still, it wasn't historic. There was no singular chase or record. The Yankees didn't finish the story in October. This was Judge as the most feared hitter alive, not the most transformative force in baseball. That distinction keeps it at 3. Number 2, 2024 Shohei Ohtani. This season didn't feel real. Shohei Ohtani hit 46 home runs, stole 26 bases, posted a 158 OPS plus, and struck out 156 hitters with a 3.18 ERA. He led off games with homers, then pitched shutout innings the same night. On July 12, he homered twice in the home run derby and then started the All-Star game on the mound. Baseball had never seen anything like it. There were no comparisons, no debates, just disbelief. Pitchers didn't know how to game plan, hitters didn't want to face him. Fans tuned in nightly just to see what rule he'd break next. Even on a mediocre team, Ohtani became the sport. This MVP didn't just dominate a season. It rewired expectations. Aura peaked because nobody understood what they were watching. That's unmatched swagger. Number 1, 2023 Ronald Acuna Jr. This season was pure chaos in the best way. Ronald Acuna Jr. became the first player ever to go 40 home runs and 70 stolen bases, and it felt like every game he was doing something outrageous. He hit .337, led the league in hits, stole bases whenever he wanted, and turned routine singles into immediate scoring threats. Pitchers couldn't relax, catchers couldn't breathe, defenses panicked. One walk became a double, one mistake became a highlight. Atlanta felt unstoppable because he set the tone instantly. Leadoff homers, first pitch steals, explosiveness every night. This wasn't just production, it was pressure. The league had no answer, no adjustment, no counter. Acuna didn't just win MVP, he changed how games started. That's aura at its peak. If you liked this video, consider watching this next one, which YouTube thinks you're going to really love.